Hey y'all, Colin here. I'm back. It's been like 2, 3 months since I've made a video, but I'm finally back with some more stuff to show you and stories to tell and all kinds of whatnots, just like I used to. Um, as you can see, I'm in a different spot. We've been. It took a long time to finally get. I don't remember if you remember me telling you we was getting ready to move to a house together, and we finally did that. Um, and it took us took quite a while for me to get everything packed and her packed and get everything moved. And we're finally kind of getting settled into the new place here. Morty's around here somewhere sleeping. He was sleeping in the sink and drinking out of the toilet just a little bit ago. And we also have a couple of dogs. They're not around right now. They're somewhere sleeping too. A German Shepherd and another little feller. Well, they're not little. Anyway, but yeah, we're back here. I'm back here. I'm removed. This is the man cave. She let me have my man cave here where I can have my area with my records and all my various lovely items I'm surrounded by here. I'm not done in here yet either. I've still got other stuff to unpack and put up and all that. But anyway, how have you all been? I've been away for a while. I'm back. And the first thing I'm here for is to show you some comic books. I got a few comic books here. Um, Secrets of the Haunted House. You know, I like collecting these old scary comic books from a long time ago. And here's one here. Um, Vampires and Werewolves. It's the Legion from Hell. I die now, Mr. E, but only to rise again and destroy you. It's a guy getting devoured there by werewolves. Well, I don't know about devoured. He's been strangled at the moment. Um, here I have about 3 science fiction comics here, which might be of interest to old Bobby over there. Here we have From Beyond the Unknown. The most sensational auction of all time, The Man Who Sold Earth. Saturn bids 100 billion for the planet Earth. Mars bids 500 billion. And that's already going on right now. All the rich people are pretty much got everybody slaves to their grind. Well, we're the slaves, and they're the rich people up there getting all the perks and all that. And I won't get into that too much, or we'll get into a big debate. And that's not what we're here for. We have Strange Adventure. Adam Strange starring in The Cloud Creature That Menaced Two Worlds. Get some apple juice here. And here we have, I also picked up this Wile E. Coyote cup here. It looks like he has ran into a wall or a rock there. And there's the old Roadrunner getting away. And we have Weird Wonder Tales. No, it can't be this planet. It's alive. Into the jaws of the world called Madness. It's like a world and it has teeth on it. These what, $2 each. I try not to spend too much on these things, especially when you don't have any money. Anyway, next up we have some records, which everybody here likes looking at. Here we have Loretta Lynn. You're looking at country. I think I have some of these songs on another album, but I'm not sure. Oh, Loretta Lynn. Is she still alive? I think she is. She's just really old now. Can't really remember. And I've been picking up a few Buffalo Springfield, and here's Buffalo Springfield last time around. Um, I'll have to show you the other. I have a couple more I can show you at another video or something. What this? Oh, it's the cover's torn. Needs to be glued back. They had that famous song that you always see in like Vietnam movies and movies about like Nixon, the '60s, and all that. It's called. I just forget what it's called, but the words in there are "There's something happening here," and that's all I can remember at the moment. And next we have a couple of Johnny Cash. Here we have Johnny Cash, The Walls of Prison. Special sale price of $1.97. No, I didn't get it for that, but that was bought somewhere in Department 210. We always associate Johnny Cash with prison, and we also associate him with trains. And I love the cover on this. It's Johnny Cash, the rough and cut king of country music. And he has a lot of albums. I have quite a few of them, and I'm pretty sure this is just another mixture of songs that I probably have on other albums and tapes and whatnot. It says it's a Sun record. But we always associate him with trains because he has trains in a lot of his videos, and he makes the train noises with his harmonica and things like that. But when you think of Johnny Cash, you think of prisons and trains, basically those two things. I just remember laying around as a kid late at night listening to the radio or something, and off in the distance you'd hear that the clackety clack of the wheels and like and the train whistle going off way off in the distance, probably halfway across somewhere on the edge of town somewhere. And I always enjoyed that sound, and sometimes you can still hear it now where I live at here, but it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't seem the same. It seemed different when you're a kid, I guess. I mean, over the years, you kind of get used to that noise, I guess. Before we move on here, I always run into these characters every now and then, and I always get a big kick or a big story out of them, even if I don't want one. For some reason, my mom was that way, and I'm that way. People will see me somewhere, and I guess I just look like somebody they can talk to or tell their problems and this and that. But I was at the post office today doing post office stuff, picking up some packages, whatnot. And I was by my mailbox, and there was this old black gentleman standing next to me. I kind of looked over and I seen him looking at his mail, and I happened to see the big VA sign, so I figured he was a veteran. He was wearing a hat, something like this almost. But he said, you know what? He just started talking. I'm standing there by him checking my mail. I'm having some problems with the VA right now. They didn't want to give me my benefits and this and that. But what got me is he started going into all of his history of himself. He said, I'm going to be 94 years old next week, and I looked at him. I'm like, really? I mean, I didn't say that. I thought it because I wouldn't expect a 94-year-old to be getting around like this gentleman was. And he started motioning his hand over part of his face, and he said way back sometime he worked at the DuPont plant in Topeka, and there was some kind of explosion, and it blinded him in one eye and kind of burnt his face on one side. And he's been trying to get treatments at the VA for this, and they're giving him a hard time about it. Or no, wait, he's trying to get some. They won't give him all of his benefits or something, and it all led into him telling me little stories about himself, and I didn't even ask. I guess he just wanted to talk. Um, and he started talking about he was in World War II and Korea. And Korea. I'm not. He was in both. World War II. I'm kind of assuming he was there kind of after everything had happened, because what he was describing was, correct me if I'm wrong. He started talking about Jewish camps, and I'm thinking, oh boy, here we go. He's gonna talk about, Auschwitz and Treblinka and those sort of awful bad places. Um, but now he started talking about these camps that they sent Jewish people to after all of that. I guess there was more camps. I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna have to read up on my history a little more because I don't know too much about this part. But he said, yeah, they there was these camps and they named them all after cigarettes. There was Camp Marlboro, Camp Camel, Camp Lucky Strikes, and it was the camps that they sent the Jewish people to after the war. I'm assuming. I'm not really sure, and that they sent them there to protect them and take care of them, after all of this, well, you know what happened. But anyway, he's talking about that, and then he started talking about he went to Baker University here in Lawrence, way back a long time ago, and he said it was one of the first integrated schools in Kansas or the United States, one of the two. I can't hardly recall, because he's talking about all of this within about 10 minutes, and I'm trying to take it all in. But he said he remembers going to a dance, and they wouldn't let there was the white people and the black people, and they had some sort of a dance, but they could dance together, but they couldn't touch. And if they touched each other, they got in all kinds of big trouble, so on and so forth. And but yeah, he started talking about the integration of schools back in the day, and he had spent time in Berlin doing something, probably while he was in the military. And that's just that story. I remember his name's Henry. I should have gotten more information from him. Like I could have, I thought about it afterwards. I'm like, maybe he just wants somebody to talk to. I could have got his phone number or something, and gave him somebody to visit with. Anyway, all that 10 minutes of time, I just got all kinds of information and education all at the same time. And that was old Henry, the 94-year-old war veteran. And that's that. For a book, I got a book here. This is one I have not read yet, and it's Kerouac, Book of Dreams. It's a paperback from the famous City Lights bookstore. And what's interesting about this book is at the beginning here, and in Kerouac's books, he has all of these characters, like Dean Moriarty in On the Road, and on this side it has the actual names of the real people he's talking about, including himself. Here's Sal Paradise, and he talks about Sal Paradise in that book. It's actually Jack Kerouac, and I just found that interesting that this has a diagram of people, the real people that he refers to in those books. And I'll just read a little bit of this here. Sorry, I'm hoarse. I'm not used to talking into this thing after so many months. Oh, the horrible voyages I've had to take across the country and back with gloomy railroads and stations you never dreamed of. One of them was a horrible pest of bats and crap holes and incomprehensible parks and rains. I can't see the end of it on all horizons. This is the book of dreams. Jesus' life is dreary. How can a man live, let alone work, sleeps and dreams himself to the other side? And that's where your wolf is 10 times worse than pretty pop nose and how. Look, I stopped. How can a man lie and say shit when he has gold in his mouth? Now, that part threw me off a little bit. Sometimes he has these, it sounds like he's talking now and then all of a sudden he goes somewhere else and talks about something real quick and comes back, and it confuses me every now and then. I guess he's talking about when he says your wolf is 10 times worse on the other side. Maybe he's talking about maybe your demons, or the things that bother you when you're awake bother you twice as much maybe when you're dreaming. Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Frohio, stations in the Flu, Raintown, Graflub, Bilzebur, and Hemptown. I've been to all of them and read Finnegan's works. What will it do to me? What will it do me good if I don't stop and write in the round wrong in my poor belighted what word is it? Skull. Talk, talk, talk. I'll have to read that over several more times to try to understand what he's talking about in that part. I guess that's why a lot of his books, you kind of have to read them over and over again before you finally get to knowing what he's talking about. And there's a couple more things I forgot to show you. You know how you guys like, I know my dishware. I like my dishware and cups and glasses. And I found these, 4 of these for $8. They were $2 each. The sticker said 1950s. And one has a gas buggy, an old car. One of the first ones on there. And the other one is a horse buggy. A horse and buggy. And this one's called the Handsome. And this is the gas buggy. I got 4 of those. I just thought they was kind of cool looking to have. I have all kinds of weird stuff when we have dinner, and I like my vintage cups and plates, even the silverware sometimes. And that's that. Thanks for watching me again after so long. I hope you all been doing well, and I'll try to come back on more often than every 3 months this time, maybe twice a month. I'll try to do more. Anyways, Colin, over and out, and Weirdos Unite.